Good morning, Frederick. It's Thursday, April 9th. I'm your host, Danny Gurry. Good Morning Frederick is live in the Everything Frederick and More group on Facebook, as well as on YouTube, on the Everything Frederick Live channel. Please subscribe to that channel, as it's very easy to share from there, and sharing is caring. It's a free way to support local businesses. Liking, leaving comments, and sharing costs nothing but a second of your time, but definitely helps. Not only does it help the show get out to more people, but it certainly helps the local businesses that we highlight, gives them more exposure. So appreciate all of that if you can do it. In the show description, I put the link to join me on the program live. So if you have anything you'd like to share, you can click the link. You'll be waiting in the green room, and then I'll bring you onto the show. The show is all about you, Frederick. So I would love to speak with you and give you an opportunity every day to share your wonderful news with me and everyone else. We've got another packed show today. Today, I talk with Tad Janes from the Maryland Ensemble Theater. You'll meet Karen Wolcott from Relay for Life of Frederick County, and I chat with Casey Ryerson from I'll Be There. I want to thank the sponsor of the program, Frederick Window Tinting, locally owned, serving Frederick with automotive, commercial, and residential window tint solutions, frederickWindowTinting.com. I also have to give a shout out to the Volpes who own Frederick Window Tinting. They also own Fox Tree Designs. They did these 3/4 zips for me. I'm on my tippy toes here, but if you see here, I mean, they're great. I'm so excited about them, and I will have a way for you to get a Good Morning Frederick t-shirt, and I'll be talking about that soon. Weather sponsored by Snowy of Maryland. Find Kyle and Snowy at the teen driving event this Saturday at the Mount Airy Carnival Grounds. That event is presented by Sherry Cates of State Farm in Mount Airy. Details are on the Everything Frederick calendar. Oh, speaking of which, I'm going to put up the numbers and everything that you may need to reach out to me. Please text. I can't answer it right this second, but while the videos are playing, I do answer the text. All right, rain throughout the day, high of 69. Tomorrow, morning clouds and afternoon sun, high of 66. Saturday, 66 again, partly cloudy with some wind. Sunday, warming up. Ooh, cloudy, partly cloudy skies with a high of 79. Then Monday through Thursday, it's going to be in the 80s. Did you save any PTO from the last time I asked? Well, Monday looks awesome with sunny skies and a high of 82 degrees. I do love this time of year, and I'm looking forward to the warm weather, but it's going to be, windows open, house hot, cooling it off. That's where we are. It's spring in Maryland. Gotta love it. I'm looking for some cool posts. So if you find any on social, people doing great things, fun pictures, anything you think everyone would want to see, just tag me on it. And I love good news stories. So if you see any good news stories coming out, I would love to know about it. Or you can send me a link, everythingfredericklive@gmail.com, or text the link to 888-465-2944. All right, this next segment, because of positivity, we call it the Feel Good File. Celebrating 25 years in the Frederick community, the Maryland Ensemble Theater is a true testament to make a quality product, and it will last. Over 50 original plays and an ensemble of 30-plus actors, directors, writers, musicians, technicians, and designers assist in all areas of production and administration. I talked with Tad Janes about what's coming up for the Met. It was so fun. Let's roll that now. here with Tad from the Met, the Maryland Ensemble Theater. If you don't know, fantastic place for local theater here in Frederick. You have been, I'm not even going to put years on it because I don't want to do that to you, but I know you've been a part of this organization for a long time. And, you know, you guys kind of had the speed bump of the pandemic. Tell people a little bit about the Met and why it's important to Frederick.
We were a theater company that started with just a bunch of artists who were interested in deciding what plays they wanted to produce instead of having somebody else in charge of all that.
Okay.
And we were in Frederick. We had a couple of our original members from Frederick, and so that's why we landed here. And it was, you know, a slow start, but kind of methodical. But over the years, it kind of got away from us in that it wasn't just about us anymore. It was about like serving the community and being a place where we're providing some different form of entertainment that is not the Weinberg Center, or not a dance studio or whatever. So it's very different than that. And at that point, there weren't really many acting classes going on in town. When we first started, we had to explain what improvisation was because Whose Line Is It Anyway wasn't on TV yet. So, you know.
Now you're dating yourself.
Right. Well, you know, I mean, I'm proud that, you know, we started in 1993. So, you know, we've been around for a while. But yeah, so, you know, we're still slogging along, still doing it and, you know, offering a season of 5 main stage plays, which are typically adult plays, not meant for kids. But then we have a family series, which is what this set is. That we're doing 4 of those in a season, which are intended for children. And then we also do Christmas Carol every year, which is family. And then we have improvisation practically every Friday night. So, and that's exciting too.
And that's right. Look, I think, you know, one thing I love about Frederick is there are now a lot of options for affordable family entertainment in particular. And this is no different. And then, yes, if you want a little bit of the up close and personal that you can't get at the Weinberg, real talent and local people, this is perfect. It's a small theater. How many? What do you guys seat in here?
Well, we have 2 different theaters. One is 93 seats. One is 72 seats.
Right. So you're right there. Right. There's no bad seat.
This
literally.
theater space is the farthest row is 5 rows. From the stage.
Exactly. So you are very close to the action. And again, I think if you have children or if you and an adult like to act or be a part of a theater company, the Maryland Ensemble Theater has a lot of options and opportunities, I guess, to be involved.
Absolutely.
Located right in downtown Frederick.
Right across the street from the Weinberg Center.
Right across the street. And if you don't know, because if you kind of blink, you might miss it, but it's kind of downstairs under the Francis Scott Key Hotel, which is no longer a hotel. But and it's accessible, affordable. Plus you guys do a lot of other outreach. I know you guys usually have a family day where the theater is opened up for families. Right,
Family Fun Day, which is usually in the winter when the parents are
going crazy.
Waiting to get their kids out.
That's right. And then summer camps and acting classes for kids?
We have acting classes that start at age 6.
Okay.
But really, our acting classes, we have more adult acting classes than we do kids acting classes. And that's kind of from the very beginning, our first class that we started teaching in 1995 were adult classes. So that's kind of been our thrust. But we do 2 semesters of classes with the ensemble school, a fall semester and a spring semester, and then summer is camp, summer camp for kids, which we run basically all summer long, like 10 to 12 weeks, depending upon how much time they have off in the summer. We try to cover all that and give students an opportunity to do something fun and also parents an opportunity to have something for their kids to do while they may have to go to work.
Now, I know over the years I've watched kind of some of the productions that you've done. You guys sometimes take a spin on a classic. You come out with some original. I think, you've written or produced?
In the organization, we've been producing like what I would call adult theater since 1997.
Okay.
And the very first play we did was an original piece about women in the Civil War.
Okay.
And since then, we've built like 60 plays in-house.
That's amazing.
And some of them are, more theater for young audiences. Some of them are more like community-centric with a lot of people on stage. Some of them are plays just for the main stage. Some of them we build as just a kernel of an idea. Last year we worked with the Arch Society to bring kind of a little personal historic view of All Saints Street and a piece we called South and Saints.
Okay.
That was all, professional actors, but we were taking stories from that neighborhood that they told us, and then we shared it in a theater form.
Yeah, and theater is so important to a community because, again, the storytelling, the interaction, again, the close-knit, a lot of kids probably don't have that accessibility to theater because nothing against the Weinberg, but the shows are expensive and a lot of them aren't applicable to children or families. And, so I think this just gives the access to the arts. And
it's a different thing. I mean, they're bringing in acts from around the country. So, that's and I know that some of the stuff is very affordable over there too. But, it's to me, it's kind of like, are you going to go to Brewer's Alley? Are you going to go to Cacique? Or are you going to go to the tasting room? Right? I mean, you're not
They're
going
all
to...
good, right? They're
all
good.
You're not going to any one of those 6 nights a week.
Right, exactly.
You're going to go to one and go to another and whatever, because that's what's going on. At one point, and I think that this was after the pandemic even, where there was a show at New Spires and it was sold out. The Weinberg Center was sold out. We were sold out. And Other Voices over at Dance Unlimited was sold out.
Holy cow.
And the dinner theater was sold out. So I'm like, okay, well, we haven't capped our audience.
Mass theater night.
Right. We have room to keep bringing people in.
So the best way for people to find out what shows is obviously to go online, marylandensemble.org.
Right.
And then you sell season tickets.
Sure.
Or buy the show.
Right.
And tell us a little bit about the Friday nights, because I think that those are fun for young adults who want to come downtown, kind of do the dinner and a show, and it's fun and it's
absolutely
vivacious.
And it's like $15. So, it's easy to
it's cheaper than a movie,
in,
right? So,
and it's an improv show, and we've really built a whole menu of different types of improvisation because we've been teaching improvisation here since 1993. So, there are a lot of people that come through the doors or people that move into town that have experience in a different city, either, DC or Baltimore or Chicago. We've had a couple people come from Chicago that land in Frederick and they're like, oh, you're doing improv. So, we just premiered last weekend a full improvised musical here on stage. We have one troupe called That's What She Said, which is an all-women troupe.
Love it.
We have the Comedy Pigs, which are the original 1993 April premiere of the whole organization. They're still performing. So there are a lot of there's a D&D group called Crit that does Dungeons and Dragons improv.
Oh, wow.
Right here. So it's
something for everybody.
It's all over there.
Sure.
We got all kinds of different varieties of improvisational shows.
Yes. Well, look, we so appreciate so much that you do for the community. Providing access to the arts, I think, is really important, where it's affordable and, again, accessible. Go to the marylandensemble.org, pick up your tickets, look for the shows all year long, right? You guys are all year long. Christmas shows are especially great, but certainly this summer, if your kids are looking for something to do and they want to maybe check out acting, it's great for confidence for kids too. It teaches them interaction and social skills and all of that too.
And we have a program that goes into the school system too. I think we're going into like 10 schools this year.
Holy cow.
Right, where we bring the sets, the lights, the costumes, the body mics, everything. And we basically become like the theater program for 12 weeks in an elementary or middle school.
Yeah, so your kids may have already had access to the Maryland Ensemble.
Right, and you can check out your PTAs and get a hold of us and we'll go.
If there's one thing you want people to know that aren't familiar with the Met, what would it be?
the one thing that they need to know. Um, it's a fun time.
It is a fun time. We want to thank Tad so much. MarylandEnsemble.org is where you go, get your tickets, support the arts right here in downtown Frederick. Fantastic. Hopefully you guys have all been to the Met. It is such a cute theater. I actually have a pair of tickets to see The Squirrel, and the set for The Squirrel is fantastic. I've got the tickets for Thursday, April 18th, 1 week from today. If you'd like the tickets, just text Squirrel to 888-465-2944. Again, that's 888-465-2944. It is also scrolling on the bottom of the screen, but we'd love to send one of you to see that great show at the Met. They do so many fantastic things there. And I have friends who have been part of the Met for years and years and years. And if your kids love acting, they should go to the summer camps and try it out. All right, we love helping in Frederick, and we're working on some really fun stuff coming up soon. So really, this show and this idea is all set and slated to do more good in Frederick. We want to contribute to our community. But right now, it is prom season. And we've had some families reach out to us that their students can't afford a new dress or suit or accessories or things like that. So many of you have been so generous already in dropping off your suits and dresses. You can either drop them to me or text and let me know, and I will arrange to get them from you. We are trying to outfit high schoolers in Frederick as well as the clients from the Scott Key Center. Scott Key Center is a place for developmentally disabled adults, and they do so many great things there. I've been there for a tour. I've had them help me out at my at the radio station where I worked. If you're a company and you need help stuffing envelopes, or maybe you're getting ready to go to an expo and you want your bags stuffed, they will come out and do that for you for free, because the Scott Key Center is all about helping train the clients for future employment. So I would love to help them out, and I am doing so by throwing them a prom. Many of them have never attended a prom. So I am putting one on at the Arc on Market Street on June 5th from 11 to 1. And right now I am trying to collect donations to help cover the cost of the food. And I'm looking for convertibles or classic cars to drive them around Key Stadium parking lot during the event. We really want to make them feel like kings and queens. So if you have any clothing that's fancy that you've been waiting to get out of your closet, or you know you're not going to wear it again, just let me know and I will arrange to come pick it up. Or if you can drop it off, I will give you an address for that. And if you can help financially, just go to scottkeycenter.org and click on the donate button. Again, I will remind you, if you are a local company watching and you make a donation, I will double that value and give you some advertising on Good Morning Frederick in exchange. So I'm happy to donate the airtime in exchange for helping them out. So if you've donated, actually, I have to thank Alexa Bedwell from Charles Studios. She donated. I just need to find out the amount, and we will be doing that too. But if you're a local company and you have the ability to donate a couple $100 even, I will make it worth your while. All right, coming up after the short break, I chat with Karen Wolcott from Relay for Life of Frederick County. She's a hoot, and I can't wait to introduce her to you.
All-in-One Events is Frederick's #1 source for event rentals and entertainment. Please visit us on the web at www.aioeventgroup.com or call 1-888-727-8902 for more information.
We want to thank those sponsors, of course, Shannon Flannery and the Real Estate Goddesses of Maryland. And I can't wait till you guys are able to come by the home of everything Frederick and more, which is right on Market Street. But first, I want to shout out Sandra from A&S Construction. It's a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business located right here in Frederick. They specialize in roofing, siding, windows, gutters, patios, and decks. Call 301-703-2157 or email info@ansconstruction.net. And there's a special offer for all the Good Morning Frederick viewers out there. $750 off any roof or siding replacement, or $50 off any roof repairs that you schedule before April 30th. Please give Sandra a call and tell her that Danny sent you, or maybe just give her a call and just say, hey, I saw your ad on Good Morning Frederick. That also helps these local businesses as well. All right, here we go. Whew, doing okay. I had a great show yesterday. Number 8 is the key. All right, when you're looking around for people doing incredible things in our community, you never have to look too far in Frederick, which is what I love. We call this doing good in the neighborhood. We want to thank Taco Bar for sponsoring this segment. It's Birria Thursday at Taco Bar. They're located on West Point. They're at West Point Plaza, right between 40 and alternate 40. Birria is slow-cooked shredded beef. It's served in a variety of ways. At Taco Bar, they only do it on Thursdays because it takes so long to make. You can have it on your tacos with melted cheese. It comes or pair it with some consomme, which is the beef broth. They have tacos, pizza, all kinds of stuff. This special is only available on Thursdays, so head to the Taco Bar. I can't wait to show you guys. I interviewed Raul from Taco Bar, and it is so beautiful in there. It was the first time I'd ever been. So for several years, I worked with the American Cancer Society and Relay for Life of Frederick and Washington counties to raise money to eradicate cancer. Cancer has affected every single one of us. I don't know anyone who hasn't been affected directly or obviously indirectly. I have a lot of friends and family who are battling. I've had my stepmom who recovered from breast cancer, which is, again, a lot of thanks to the American Cancer Society. And I've had the great pleasure of knowing my next guest since 2018. This is Karen Wolcott. One of the great things about this show, Good Morning Frederick, is that it gives me the opportunity to chat with people that are beloved in my life. And you, my friend, are one of those. This is crazy Karen Wolcott, who represents the American Cancer Society, Relay for Life of Frederick County, Frederick and Washington counties, but we're specifically going to be talking about Relay for Life of Frederick County because that is coming up in the not too distant future.
37 days. Woo.
30, but who's counting?
But who's counting, right? Oh my gosh. Well, good morning, Danny. How are you?
I am great, and I appreciate you taking some time to chat with me. Look, there's so much that encompasses American Cancer Society, Relay for Life, and I know we're going to kind of be sticking to these events that you have coming up because a big part of ACS and what you do is fundraising. Right. And a big need, obviously, is people's funds, but also people, right? So volunteers are imperative to help these events keep going and thriving. So tell me a little bit about what's coming up right away and how we, the Frederick community, can help you.
Fantastic. Well, thanks, of course, for having me on Good Morning Frederick. Watch your show. I'm a big fan. I love it. But, I'm a huge fan of you. So it's great. But so we have our theme this year for Relay. This is our 29th year here in Frederick County. And our theme this year is not all superheroes wear capes.
Oh, I like that.
that works for our survivors, that we are, that's what we do this for, is so that a cancer patient can wake up the next morning and say, I did it, I'm here, I did it. And we at the American Cancer Society believe that the moment you hear those words, you have cancer, that you are a survivor. So there are some people that look at it differently, but from our perspective, it's from the moment you hear those little words. But
yes,
we have a bingo coming up, and it's happening with our friends at the Elks on Willowdale Drive. You're very familiar with them. It's Friday, April the 12th. The doors will open at 5 p.m. They'll, of course, have food for sale. Everything is cash only at the Elks unless you're a member. So I just need to be completely transparent about that.
Yeah.
Tickets in advance, so before Friday, are $25. And at the door, they are $35. We'll have specialty games, pull tabs, 50-50, a basket raffle, baked goods, candies and snack. And we're adding something new in this year. We're doing cancer trivia. So,
wow.
yeah.
Okay. So how's that going to work?
So when you come in, once the doors open at 5 o'clock, the games don't begin until 6:30. So a lot of people like to get in there. They like to get set up. They like to get their tchotchkes and, all their little things. Because, I'm a bingo girl, because I like to just yell that. It gives people an opportunity to come in. The Elks will have tons of food. Once again, cash only. They do have an ATM on site, so that is positive. But so while people are eating and getting settled and coming in and bidding on the basket raffles or buying 50-50 tickets, we're going to periodically ask trivia questions.
Okay.
Like, for example, do you know the website to the American Cancer Society?
Cancer.org.
Yeah.
It's coming back to me. It's coming back to cancer.org.
That's right. So, and, we really want people to, if they have questions about cancer treatment or cancer diagnosis or what's new and out there, they need a ride to treatment. We want you to go to cancer.org, just go straight to the horse, go to cancer.org.
Cancer.org. And from my Radiothon days, there's a ton of information available at cancer.org. It's amazing how, little dollars, really, when you think about it, go so far at the American Cancer Society, helping people with transportation and Hope Lodge and all the great things. Can't even get into the amount of research that's being done every single day. The number of, Lori would be mad at me, but the number of doctors and Nobel Prize winners and all of that good stuff. I can't remember all of that, but I know that there are a lot.
Yes, it is very impressive. And what's nice is the Relay for Life is the longest running fundraising grassroots fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. And the other nice thing with the American Cancer Society is that we take care of all cancers. We don't pick one and focus. Right. So it doesn't matter what your cancer is. And skin cancer, because, May's coming up. We're in April right now, which is cancer. Oh my gosh, what are we? Cancer Control Month. And what that basically means is that you do have some control over what is happening to your body. So for example, if you are a smoker, unfortunately, I want you to stop right now.
Today, immediately.
Right. Yes. And what's really great is our health department, our Frederick Health Department, has a wonderful smoking cessation program. So just go over and see them. They're fantastic over there.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but we have lots of ways that we can control, like limit our alcohol, get out and have and exercise more, watch our weight, all of those things that our doctors are constantly telling us. But the big thing that we can do to monitor our health and what we're doing is actually get screened. The screening diagnostics that they have today are so much better than whatever they've had, in the history of these diagnostic testings. And, so many people don't do their screenings.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I get it. seriously, do you really want to have a colonoscopy? Let's be for real. Or if you're a lady, do you really want to have a mammogram? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it takes not a lot of time, and it
Yeah.
really can make a huge difference, especially if we catch those cells early.
Okay,
So
so
it's very
let's
important.
turn to relay, which happens
May 17th.
May 17th at FCC.
Yep, at FCC in the quad, right in front of the athletic building right there.
Okay.
And it starts at 7 p.m. is our opening ceremony. So we need everybody to register. So we
Okay.
want you to register at www.relayforlife.org/Frederick MD.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll put all of that up there as well. And we also have both of these events, the bingo and relay, are on our Everything Frederick calendar.
Yep.
With links to where you need to go to register. What could they expect? Who
well, the
should
most
be right?
Anybody can come. It's
right.
0 to 100.
Okay.
So age 0 to 100. And what we do and what we have is we have an opening ceremony, we have an opening speaker. It kind of sets the tone of our event. It's a celebratory event. It's a celebration of all the funds that have been raised throughout the year. It's a celebration of our survivors that are with us. We remember those who unfortunately we have lost to cancer, either recently or years past. We do a particular ceremony called our Luminaria ceremony. It's the white Luminaria bags. And we put those around a walking track area that we walk, and we light them at night under a ceremonial type setting. It's beautiful. We have a silent auction that's there. And really the other piece to our event is fighting back. So by donating, by being physically there, coming out with your family and friends, Texas Roadhouse is going to be there, and they're going to have food on site. Starbucks is going to be there. They have beverages on site. We get Walmart donates things, and Wegmans donates things. So we have all kinds of things out there for you to participate. We do a living tribute. We do a butterfly release in honor or in memory of a loved one who is either battling cancer or fighting cancer. But our event in Frederick does start at 7 p.m. and it ends at 7 a.m. Okay. So it is a 12-hour event. And if you're planning on staying for longer than midnight, then we ask that you bring a pop-up tent and comfortable chair to hang out with. Please bring comfortable walking shoes, because the goal for a relay is to have somebody from your team on the track at all times. It's not a run, because this girl does not run. Annie, you know that because we walk all the time. So no running from this girl.
If I'm running, something is chasing me for sure. So.
And I'll most likely be laying down at that point.
Me too.
So leave me alone.
So here's the thing, and there's no stress or anything about it, because I know May is coming up quickly. Don't freak out if you don't have this huge team with a lot of funds or any of that, but just get some friends together and go to this event. Put in your team. Can be a couple of you, can be more, whatever you want to do, but experience it, because just the wonderful feeling that you're going to get coming out of it, and the support and the love, it's just, it's going to be amazing. Now, volunteer wise, if you want to register, I'll make sure I have the link up on the screen for that too. So I'll add that. But volunteers, what do you need?
So we need a lot of help with setup and cleanup, obviously, and that tends to be in the afternoon, like 2:30-ish. So we're always looking for people to help set up items, carry raffle items to the silent auction tent. It's a Friday. It's a Friday night into a Saturday. And heads up, we relay rain or shine.
Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully it'll be. Yes, hopefully it'll be a gorgeous night like it was last year and like it is, today. But we do relay rain or shine. But we have a DJ that plays all night. So there will be music there. We have yard games. We have laps that are fun. We have like bubble laps. We have a heads and tails lap. It's a game we play. So there's all kinds of different events happening all the time throughout it. We have a 1 a.m. birthday bash where we give you a birthday hat and a blower, and you get to walk around the track and sing happy birthday because the American Cancer Society is the official sponsor of birthdays. So
love it.
It's a great time.
Yes. And so if you want to volunteer, if you want to participate in any of these events, you can check out the links at the Everything Frederick calendar, or you can, of course, go to
www.relayforlife.org/FrederickMD.
Okay. Yeah.
And my contact information is right there on the front page, and it says join, and you just click that right there. And if you can't come and you would like to make a donation, that's not a problem either. There's a button up top on our webpage that says donate, and feel free to donate. And, of course, every penny counts. And I know, Danny, you've heard my predecessor, Lori Fry, say that all the time. And it really, truly is true that it comes down sometimes to every penny. But the money does support research that cancer patients right here in town are utilizing. It helps provide rides to and from cancer services. So it really does make a difference to, donate where you live, because unfortunately, we do have a lot of, unfortunately in 2024, there's going to be over 2 million cases of cancers diagnosed in the year 2024. Now, that doesn't mean that we aren't doing everything that we can to end cancer as we know it for everyone, but we can't do it without support and help. And, that's our mission. Our mission is just to eradicate it, but we're doing everything we can.
I know. You guys are working hard. Well, look, we appreciate you joining us today. Karen Wolcott from Relay for Life of Frederick County is coming very soon in May, but the bingo is happening This
Friday, the 12th of April.
This Friday, the 12th. So get your bingo gear together, head over to the Elks.
Go to our website, the www.relayforlife.org/FrederickMD, and they put in the search bar under teams RFL Spring Bingo. It'll pull up under Nancy Nathanson is the person who's organizing it. And they if they want one ticket, they pay $25. If they want 4 tickets, they pay $100. And just put your name on there. And if you have questions or problems, my contact information is also on the site.
Yes, we will make sure of it. All right, Karen, thank you so much for joining us today. And we will keep doing whatever we can to help fight this cancer.
Thank you so much, Danny. It's so good to see you, darling.
You as well.
All right. Take care. Thanks, everybody.
All right. I want to thank Karen Wolcott. That bingo is tomorrow. So go get your tickets. Head over to the Elks tomorrow at 5 o'clock for that. And that leads us right into what's happening in Frederick. All right, tons. The answer to that is tons is happening in Frederick, actually. I want to pull up. Okay, so we're looking at the week. You guys can see the week. This is our Everything Frederick calendar. Tonight, today, again, you could go to that Dreams Artist Showcase at District Arts. But tonight, Field of Dreams is playing at the Weinberg. And the second episode of the Top 5 from Everything Frederick and More will air on our YouTube channel and, of course, right here in Everything Frederick and More as well. Again, tomorrow, the bingo with Relay for Life, and the Met has comedy night with musical improv. That's pretty cool. And I would love to see how that goes. That would be a fun time. So you can head to the Met. This weekend, Swifty Okie is at Dream Free Art at 6 o'clock. And again, you cannot go a weekend in this town without so much happening. Sunday, the 14th, Newmarket Cars and Coffee, set to have one of the largest car shows that they've ever seen. So they're excited about that. We've got Super Sunday, of course, at Union Mills, and the Flying Cows take on Montreal 3 o'clock at Hood Arena. I talked to Coach Ed, and we'll air his interview tomorrow. Doors open at 2, and it's 3 o'clock game time. Now, this is exciting and new. First of all, I want to shout out Lightbridge Academy. They just signed on to do our first live remote that we've done. So I am going to be at Lightbridge Academy for their grand opening on Saturday, April 20th. I'll be live streaming from 10 to 11 a.m. Lightbridge is located at 313 Ballinger Center Drive. They're going to have so much stuff going on. Carnival games, magic show, balloon twister, bubble station, petting zoo, and lots more. So come on out and say hi to me. I am going to have an opportunity for you to get one of these great Good Morning Frederick t-shirts, but I'll be handing out stickers, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So head to Lightbridge Academy. Mark that on your calendar. I think through this calendar, you can actually add to your own calendar. So do that as well. Don't forget on the 27th, it's Battle of the Bands. And that is going to be a hectic day here in Frederick. But Battle of the Bands is happening 3 to 7 p.m. Get your tickets at botbfrederick.com. Again, the link for all of this and many more items is all on this calendar. So if you don't have the calendar yet, you can get it. Just text calendar to 888-465-2944, and you'll be set for the entire summer. And I haven't even added Alive at 5 and all the summer family theater Celebrate Frederick does. It's going to be a busy summer, which actually I love. Always something good to do. Whew, all right. Shift, work and play. The Frederick's one and only co-working space designed to support those with young children. Get your work done while your kids are supervised. There is nothing better than knowing that you're going to be able to focus for 3 hours on, especially maybe you have a project or a deadline coming, even if you just want it as a one-off to go and sit down and let your kids be entertained. There's supervised play. There's an activity. They also get to do just open-ended fun. Shift Work and Play has meeting rooms, dedicated desks. They have these really cool, like, phone booth things that you can do your Zooms in so you don't interrupt everybody or if you have to take a phone call. Very cool. It's located close to downtown, right on Northeast Street. Just book a tour today at shiftworkandplay.com. Go see it for yourself and find out why it would be a great spot to have even a permanent office. That permanent offices get 24-hour access. Shiftworkandplay.com. I want to thank Megan for sponsoring this program. All right, Promo Circus is the company I started recently. Promo Circus is marketing consulting, I guess, at the base, helping businesses make the most of every marketing dollar and taking advantage of the many ways to remain top of mind. It's very competitive out there, and I know how hard it is when you don't have a lot of money to put towards marketing. But this program, Good Morning Frederick, along with the Top 5 program, which streams tonight at 8, are just a couple ways I've created to give businesses, nonprofits, and just people of Frederick a platform. I do appreciate all of our sponsors for signing on, and I've created some additional sponsorships. I'm going to switch here. We're going to have to go here. All right, hang on one sec. We're going to share our screen. Oh, I got to switch tabs. See? All right. So I had a good run yesterday and today. All right, here we go. There always has to be something. Okay, these are our new sponsorship. Well, there's some new sponsorship opportunities you can see here. So we can do live mentions, and this is how many times per week you want to be mentioned, and that is a weekly cost. So you can do live mentions. There are endorsement opportunities, and that's really where I've tested a product or come to a business and I speak from personal experience on that. And you can do exactly what Lightbridge did with a remote live stream. This gets you exposure on the show. We talk about the event. We create an event in the calendar as well as in the group Everything Frederick Live, Everything Frederick and More. There's also 15-second video ads. And I want to thank Dreamscape Slumber. They just signed on for an ad that will start tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for that. Anyway, lots of opportunities, very affordable. If you want more information, my contact details are there. You know how to get in touch with me, right? So you can do that. But I want to thank everybody for really being so supportive during this journey. All right, that leads us to market makers. These are the people that keep the town growing. Small businesses employ thousands of people in our community, and we couldn't do it without them. Market Makers is sponsored by the Frederick Flying Cows. They're back in Frederick Sunday at Hood, taking on Montreal at 3. Grab your tickets today at goflyingcows.com. I actually learned so much chatting with Casey Ryerson from I'll Be There. I have to be honest, I have met her a few times and didn't quite understand what she did. So this conversation is really excellent because if you are around my age or, even in your 30s, 40s, and you have aging parents and you yourself, obviously, we're all getting older, you need to bookmark Casey Ryerson's company, I'll Be There, because we're all going to need someone like Casey on our side. Here's Casey.
Here today with Casey Ryerson. I'm sure you've seen her around town. I run into her at several events throughout a month because it seems like that's all you do, but I know that that's not true. Welcome, Casey.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
So we met a while ago, and then I do run into you quite a bit, but I have never, and I apologize for this, sat down and asked you about I'll Be There. So I need you to tell me what your business is all about and how I can help.
First of all, I want to share that I've been in the senior care industry it's year 14. I started back in 2010. And I have been inside assisted living buildings working. I've been a executive director for 2 of those years. And then I also worked in home health and home care inside the different companies. I have been in the senior care industry. This will be year 14. And I've worked as an executive director, and I've worked in home health, home care, and then, of course, in marketing. I've helped over 1,000 families, thousands of families find the right senior care and knowledgeable in the industry. So my building, as you would guess, is helping people find senior care.
Yeah.
My building.
Well, let me just say, I recently moved my mom and my stepdad up to Maryland from South Carolina, and he had some severe health issues and unfortunately passed from that. But the time in between them coming here and the point at which he passed, it's very stressful. I think having an advocate like you that's worked in the industry, that understands the language, that knows the questions to ask. You're the advocate for the caregivers, right?
Yeah, and it's interesting that you asked that. This role started back in 2000, and the model is that I have contracts with assisted livings and home care companies, and they pay me to put the right person in front of them. So
okay. So you're evaluating on the patient side or client side for them.
Yes, and it's very interesting because I bought a franchise. I have over 1,400 communities across the United States. I have national contracts and I have local contracts that I can help families with. And the franchise that I bought believes in crossing territories and crossing boundaries to help the families. My home base is in Frederick, Maryland, but I can make placements all over the United States at this point, which is very powerful.
Well, that is amazing to know, because again, if the situation wasn't as it is, if I had my mom in South Carolina, then I could contact you and say, please help me to find her a spot near her home, where she doesn't have to be uprooted.
Sure. Our franchises are listed on our website.
Okay.
Rapidly growing, and that's something, as a franchisee, I am the poster child for our franchise.
I love it.
I earned Franchisee of the Year through the International Franchise Association. So my business is now internationally awarded.
That is amazing.
And I am the only placement company in Frederick that has that international franchisee award and designation. So it's very powerful. I'm excited about it.
Well, it shows that hard work pays off, and that, getting out there and networking with people and, constantly working to grow your business works, obviously. So that's great.
Yeah, I absolutely have a passion for helping others, and the experience to be able to provide the peace out of chaos that it comes when you search for senior care.
Yeah. So do you have any advice for somebody who, I'm assuming like kind of around my age, who has aging parents or, aunts or whatever? What should the first thing be that people do, and how early should people start planning for this?
There's never too early, believe it or not, because we're all aging. If you look at statistically, once we reach the age of 65, we have 1 in 4 chance to go into a nursing home. And once you reach 85, we have a 2 in 4 chance. But I find that people always believe it's going to be somebody else, not them.
Right. Yeah. And, what I have come to find is the decline can happen extraordinarily fast. And that's something that a lot of people aren't expecting. And again, in the case of my stepfather, it was very, very fast decline. And so you're really kind of scrambling to try to figure out how you can care for your loved ones.
And the huge piece about working with myself as a placement agency is I have the needle in the haystacks. You're looking for a certain level of care for a certain price point. I can find that much easier than you, because some of the smaller communities can't even afford to advertise on the internet. But yeah, they're the diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, really. And I'm so glad to know about this now, because, I still have step parents and I have parents, so I still have plenty of options to come to you. So would you recommend somebody like me come to you now and kind of start a conversation, even though you're not ready for placement? Or for you and your business, is it important to kind of, at what point do we reach out?
Yeah, it's important to be knowledgeable, but the market itself is forever changing and changing quickly. So a place that's available today or a home care that's available today might not be available tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, it's important to kind of know the price points, but to do the actual research, my best client is coming from the hospital. So I now all the time, because the discharge starts upon admission at the hospital. And with my knowledge and expertise in the years of service, with my knowledge and expertise in the years of service and dedication that I have for the seniors, I've been able to have somebody call me on Wednesday around noon, and they are touring a community after talking to me by the evening, and they're placing a deposit that evening to move in the next day. I'm not saying that's the best, but I'm just saying that it can happen when you work with me as a placement agency, but I'll be there.
So how do people get in touch with you, or what is the best way to kind of start the conversation?
Well, the easiest way to get in touch with me is through my website. That is the quickest way. You go to www.owlbethere.com, and yes, it's the bird. I wrote it on the picture. You look for I'll be there, Frederick and Loudoun. We
Okay.
have other locations, and you can get to the other locations through the website, but I'm the lady at the Frederick and Loudoun contact area.
Awesome. What is one thing you would want people to know if they took one thing away from this interview? What would that be?
You always have options. Do not sit in your first choice.
Yeah,
Because
that's great advice, actually. Yes, because sometimes you feel like there are no options, and you're right. If you don't know about the places like that, then yeah, that makes sense.
I being in the industry as long as I've been in the industry, inside the buildings, believe it or not, during the time of COVID, I started my business 2 years ago. I slept on my office on a cot, taking care of our residents, making sure they were taken care of.
Oh my.
Understanding that knowledge and level of expertise, sometimes you will be accepted into a building. 30 days, 6 months, a year later, they'll give you a discharge notice because you're too high level of care. They'll tell you that you're skilled care only. That is within their knowledge, not within the placement agency's knowledge. I have beautiful, wonderful options that are not only skilled care, but they're licensed level 3 communities across the states that are so beautiful as well.
That's incredible. It really is. And again, what a great resource you are to a family who is, again, probably stressed out and panicked and trying to figure out the best level of care for the people they love. And you hear these terrible stories, and you feel like you're kind of, making those decisions without all the knowledge. So the fact that you have all the knowledge is excellent.
I would like to add, as a part of having the knowledge, the biggest piece with me having that, being in the industry, working in the buildings, working in the home care agencies, is something that you mentioned earlier in the beginning of the interview. Number one, understanding to ask the right questions, because the quality of our questions determines the quality of our lives.
Yeah.
So sometimes the families just don't know the right questions to ask. They know what they want, but they don't know the right questions to ask. And number two, of course, Danny, I know that you understand this piece, is to know the person who you have to ask the questions from. So understanding who you need to communicate to is key.
Yeah. What do you think is the biggest challenge for you or this business or this industry in the coming years?
I'm going to say it is the communication that the families in the industries need to understand how to get a little bit better. And I won't blame it on one or the other, but being in the industry and working alongside the best community that I worked with, the executive director of that community asked the families to contact her immediately if they thought something was wrong. She had her cell phone on 7 days a week. She responded via text. Real important for you to know the key players to communicate to, or it's just going to fester and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So I think that the industry definitely has to work on just understanding who to communicate to.
I would 100% agree with that. Again, just based on my own short experience. Any final thoughts that you would want everybody to know? This has been fun. I could talk to you for an hour about this. But, yeah.
I want people to understand my particular role in the industry. It's almost like a matchmaker, and I love connecting the right person at the right place for the right price.
Yeah.
That's really key when you work as a matchmaker in the senior care industry.
Let me ask you real quick, because that just made me think of something else. As far as like private pay, insurance, how do you work with all of those or help people match them based on that as well?
I wish, and everybody in the industry wishes, that the insurance would pay, but unfortunately they do not, except you're talking about rehab or anything medically necessary like home health, hospice, or rehab. As far as the other level of care, it's actually private pay.
Okay.
So I I have communities right now, which is unheard of, that I can have families at $2,800 a month for 24/7 care secured around the clock.
Yeah.
And then it goes upwards of there. For the same
Yeah.
level of care, depending on the building, you could be $15,000 a month.
Oh yeah, no, that's that's right in line with what we were quoted at the time, and so I totally get it.
And I mentioned 2 programs just so families know. There's long-term care. So in your 50s, you definitely want to start planning for long-term care, talking to your financial services representative. And then there's Veterans Aid in Attendance. That's somebody who is a veteran that served at least 90 days, and at least one of those times during war. They will help the veterans pay for the assisted living private pay.
Yeah, and that we were very lucky that my stepdad was a veteran, and the VA was amazing in the end, actually. And that was great. But yeah, that's really good to know for people as well. Well, Casey, thank you so much. We'll put the website up on the screen. Make sure you check it out. It's just good information to have. Bookmark her website just in case for the future. And I'm sure you will see her around Frederick very soon.
All right, I want to thank Casey, and I know we're running a little bit later than normal, just have so many people to get to. So we're going to wrap it up. On tomorrow's show, we've got a packed lineup. Eric Stevens from I-9, Kyle of Snowy of Maryland, and Coach Ed from the Frederick Flying Cows. Subscribe to us on YouTube so you don't miss one episode and you're able to share from there as well. Until then, be sure to search for Everything Frederick Live on TikTok and YouTube, and you can follow me on TikTok at DannyGirl1124. Have a great day. Be great, Frederick.